Hey guys, today is the the 25th of August of 2025, and I am in fact in a slightly different bit of Kenya. I'm up here in Lamu County, where I'm planning to meet the governor. Now, this turn in this game of ours should be relatively straightforward in terms of all the buttons I'm clicking. I am unifying France with the Benelux countries of Netherlands, Belgium, and the not implemented Luxembourg.
Acknowledged.
And it'll be good that I won't have a very button clicky time of it for my game, because my real life has been off the side of the rails.
To make our move.
At your
You're
service.
you're hitting me. You're seeing me at an exhausted phase of my time again. I'm exhausted today, so I'm
Heading
just
to the
gonna
capital.
play out a
What's the
quick
order?
turn for you here. Now,
At your service.
I'm also going to lock down these silly Spanish and the
Terminating
Bulgarians.
opposition.
Where to?
So anyway, I've been mulling around in Malindi. I came up here yesterday. I should have probably done this turn then, but I thought today would be easy. Basically, I thought today was going to be a much easier day, and then I had a surprise bad news that I had to go to Lamu Island to go to my bank, and that pushed me to being completely exhausted levels of my life.
Terminating the opposition.
At your service.
So this week I found a truck, which is a small truck. It only costs 550,000 shillings. I'm not taking out a loan. I'm just using my father's money to buy it. And it is, in fact, today I've just bought it. So I've bought it and I've laid a foundation. I've put in 60% of the money for my new machines that are getting produced in Nairobi. So in 2 weeks they'll be ready. I'll go to Nairobi.
Is our greatest weapon, bar none.
In 2
If
weeks,
we know enough about what we're fighting and what.
and I will pick up those machines. One thing I've noticed is that the past 2 recordings I've been mumbling, so I'm gonna try and be enunciation-y and give you a better voice of mine
Winning their hearts and
this
minds.
time. But anyway, I'm in Lamu to meet the governor. I've also been catching up on I've had a backlog of emails and internet stuff. I'm mostly all caught up on that. And I've just arranged a meeting with a guy in Nairobi, which will be in 2 weeks as well, to start a motorbike sales company in Malindi. And it's looking like I've convinced him that I'm serious, which is fantastic. So the reason why I'm happy to be doing this, despite that I'm exhausted, is I've had a very good day. I'm really hitting my targets. And coming up next week is going to be time for meeting the governor here in Lamu to start another new business. In fact, the background music might be too big. Might be too loud. I wonder if that is a concern with why I'm hard to hear. It sounds like it probably is, so I'm going to look at that for my next week recording, your next recording with me. Alright, so now I'm unifying Europe for the first time. This is one of the fun things about this game, is you can really unify countries. I mean, in real life, I think the countries are going to be dividing up. But in liberal fantasy land, the countries are getting even bigger. And Belgium, which actually has no good reason to join France, aside from that Americans think they're the same, is about to join France. So here we go. Welcome to France, Belgium.
Wrapping up here.
And in fact, take me there because France stops producing mission control and it starts producing boost. So now France is really building up its rocketry, as is Saudi Arabia, as is Kazakhstan, and even inefficient Canada is getting in on the game a bit over here. So I'm hopefully going to be really pushing up my rocket number. Now the problem for France as a rocketry destination. You can produce a lot. France in real life and in this game as well.
Complete.
Does all of its rocketry in... Oh, that's cool. Oh, it does remind me I actually have a thing I need to do. I'm gonna mess up the game. This is what's gonna happen, because I'm an idiot. So when I conquered the moon, I got a bunch of influence, because everyone was like, wow, look at that guy, he put stuff on the moon. I mean, it's fairly realistic. And I get to use that influence to buy a big, expensive thing, which in my case is going to be the World Health Organization. So this is going to give me, importantly, 15% life science research. So it's like I got a new scientist of green science. But the problem is it costs me a lot of money every month. So eventually I'll have to get rid of it. But for a good while, it'll be a great thing to have. And then I'm also going to... Oh, in fact, he is going to do that. And then I'm also going to grab this. I was thinking about grabbing this one, but it's going to cost me too much of my... whatever, this resource. And I'm not going to bother grabbing it because I'd rather spend that resource chasing down the aliens we just saw. So yeah, every time France produces more rockets, it gets a good, it's effective. But it has to share them with the rest of the EU. So if you look at it,
Wrapping up here.
Bulgaria is earning a bit of rocketry, even though it doesn't have any rockets, because it gets to use French rockets. So anyone who's still in the EU is mooching off my rockets. But it's fewer and fewer people. Everyone's leaving the EU in this game. And getting my rocketry up will encourage the countries that are still in the EU to stay. Like Portugal is about to leave. But if I push my rocketry up high enough, maybe Ireland won't leave. So it's still kind of worth it. And I'm still getting enough rocketry out of France. And having a giant rocket under my control in the long term is gonna still be pretty good to have. So
You're in control now.
for now, until I can put a mine on the moon, I'm gonna do that basically. So yeah, this is a wild episode. Hopefully you're having a good time listening to me. I've decided I'm gonna turn down the music because I think that's the problem. And my real life is really popping off, and I just talked about it a bit. But I'm in Lamu, I just bought a truck, I just progressed starting another important new company, and I'm about to do that again tomorrow. So next week, hopefully, I'm going to be in a far better position with this trees company here in Lamu. And then in a couple of weeks, maybe two more of these until that happens, I'll be starting and then my financial position, my business empire, whatever, is coming together very nicely right now. And a new phase of my life should be beginning. I've also been talking to my cousin in America, the one in Texas, and she's really looking likely to come here. She's really not happy about being a gay African woman in fascist Texas right now. So hopefully we'll be seeing her arrival soon enough. Alright, so that is the end of my turn here. And I still have a minute of your time. Oh look, the music's ended. I bet the music's a problem. And I'm gonna sleep and talk to you guys in 6 days Sunday, because today is in fact a Monday. And this is, exhausted posting. I get exhausted quite a bit. Quite a lot of my days I crash out in this state. But I'm going to put this out anyway. Talk to you guys in a week. Oh, also, my mother says hi. So that's cool. My mother, who would also be your ancestor, says hi. Ciao.